What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I've decided that I'm gonna turn this car talk into a series. This is gonna be a new thing that I'm trying. Any feedback or suggestions would be appreciated in the comment section. And if you're new, feel free to like and subscribe. But today, I wanted to talk about something a little bit different. I want to talk about dating. And I try to only speak on things that I either understand or I know or that I'm a part of. So it's not just like a perspective of somebody who's just looked something up on Google. So last time I talked about a specific book and different things that I've learned in that regard. But dating is an interesting topic that I really want to dive into. But dating in 2025 is really interesting. And I know I'm not the only one. We all go through it. It's some people out there, you kind of look, and I'm happy for those that are able to, you find your person early and you're just happy and in love, and you kind of walk around and you see people that have been together for a long time, or you see people that you're like, dude, this guy literally doesn't do anything and he has a girlfriend, or you see a girl who you're like, she ain't shit and she has a really great boyfriend. And it really stems from a couple of things. The first thing is, it's really all about understanding and confidence. Understanding you and dating culture, and confidence, meaning confidence in your ability to go on dates, or, confidence in yourself to be able to project yourself in a way that somebody will understand who you truly are. And let's start in the understanding part, right? Understanding dating culture. Dating culture in 2025 is not the same as it used to be. And if you're somebody who has been in a relationship for a while and you're now single, you probably realize that dating is not the same. The way you talk to people, how a lot of people think. And from what I've noticed, listen, I'm just one guy, but I will truly say that I have met a lot of women that are very different. And I have also met a lot of women who are chronically online and all have the same personality. I've definitely been lucky to be on the first side of that, where I've met a lot of women who are very unique, very personable, and they kind of go against that traditional, what you would call I call it the TikTok brain, or where they become kind of mummified and they all kind of say the same things and they all do this, and it's all kind of, it's, to me, that's kind of like a big turnoff. But dating culture it's shifted to where online dating is not necessarily just to meet people anymore. A lot of times people just want to hook up. And the culture right now is really just, it's like a fast fashion trend, right? It's very much instant gratification. It's very much I don't know who, so I'm just going to go for as many as I can. At this point, it's become more of a numbers game than it really has a quality game. And I'm not just speaking on behalf of oh, I'm a guy and this is how I feel about women, and women are this and that, or oh, men are this and that. But we all kind of struggle with the same thing. It's nobody really preserves their self or their personality or their opinion for just one person, because it's really just due to a lack of patience. So dating culture right now sums up to a lack of patience. It's trying to date as many people as possible because we're not sure what we want and we want to find it, instead of genuinely spending quality time with somebody over a few dates and then kind of seeing how that works. Do you know how many stories I've heard of people that dated each other and didn't like each other at first, and they kind of got to know each other, and then you kind of realize, wow, this is a really good fit. You have to understand what you're dating for, right? And a lot of dating culture right now is not, people don't really understand what they're dating for. They're kind of just dating just to date. It's almost like a for funsies kind of thing. And if you're truly dating to be intentional and for your next relationship to be your last relationship, you have to walk into it evaluating it a lot differently than you would if you were just trying to do something casual with somebody, right? Because when you're dating for the long run, it's got to be more about personality traits, family values, leadership, ambition, vision. All those things are important for long term, right? Obviously, yes, how good looking somebody is matters, and that, that attraction matters. And, if you're watching this, or even if you're a little bit older, a little bit younger, like, yes, looks do matter, but they shouldn't be the telltale or the final say in regards to how you feel about somebody. Like, if you go on a date with somebody and she's absolutely beautiful, but she's not well-mannered, or he or she is not well-mannered, and the way they speak is not in a way that you want to portray yourself, because you got to understand that person is a direct reflection of you. The same way growing up you were a reflection of your parents. I didn't understand that, obviously, until I got older, but who you date personifies or amplifies a portion of you that you may not realize, because you are what you settle for. So understanding what your intentions are and truly being more patient in the process, and not just I wasn't really feeling the vibe, but like, she was super cool, like, okay, then don't jump to being physical with her. Take your time and really understand that person. Really understand how that person can add value to your life. Not just like, oh, well, I just want to show affection and this and that, because I'm guilty of that too. I tend to love more physically, and I tend to have more intimate values in regards to showing affection, but I've also learned how to communicate in other ways, because communication is always going to be king. And a lot of the times nowadays, people don't understand how to communicate their love or the way they feel about somebody outside of physical intimacy, and they lack depth. But it's covered because you're with somebody, you hang out with them for a few hours, it's very basic conversation, you watch a movie. And a lot of dating, also going on dates, is distracting yourself from the actual date. Like, or if you're hanging out with somebody a few times, you just sit and you watch a movie, you sleep together, and then that's kind of like the routine. It's how much are you really engaging with that person? How much depth can you really get out of that person? So understanding dating culture is a lack of depth, and it's a lack of communication, and it's a lack of intentionality, and a lack of understanding where you are, want to be in regards to your future. If you really put those things together, it'll get you to where you are looking to go, probably a lot faster. And the second thing is the confidence factor, right? I speak a lot on men on this one, not necessarily on women, because I believe in traditional values where a man should approach a woman, or should say something, or should make the first move. But also, we live in a culture nowadays where, again, understanding culture, let's tie it in, where a lot of men don't do that anymore. So it also stems from a woman's confidence and ability to feel secure and not feel like she is stepping beneath herself just because she likes a guy and wants to wait for him to say something first. Like, we have to be flexible with each other. We can help each other if we're just a little bit more open and forward about what we want. But back to the confidence factor, it's really just being confident in who you are and not trying to put on a fake persona or trying to be somebody you're not just to like impress somebody or win somebody over. Like, if you don't feel confident in who you are and your ability to court someone and your ability to do things for somebody else, because at the end of the day, a relationship is about giving. It's not just about receiving. If you lack the confidence in your ability to provide your portion of what should be half of that other person's needs, at least, then that's a problem. And we go into this, a lot of us go into this with a mindset of like, well, they should be able to meet their own needs. Okay, but then when you're in a relationship, you don't want them to be an individual. Like, you have to be confident in yourself. I believe in that. Like, you should be 100% confident in yourself and who you are. And you should have your own personality, you should be able to do everything for yourself before you go into a relationship, because that way, when you are whole, it's a lot easier to give to somebody because you know how to fill in your own gaps. You should not necessarily be responsible for somebody's happiness, but you should be able to contribute to it. But you shouldn't be all of it, because then what happens is you start to become, your personality becomes that relationship. And that's also not healthy, because when you become when you become so-and-so's boyfriend or girlfriend instead of being yourself, and then you guys come together, that can also cause bigger problems down the road as well. So these are things that you kind of have to keep in mind. You have to build yourself and build that confidence to be able to go out and actually, secure somebody, but be confident in yourself to provide for somebody, and be confident in yourself to give to somebody, and be confident in your ability to communicate to somebody. Because at the end of the day, if you lack that confidence, you shouldn't be dating, because all you're either going to do is let yourself down, or you're going to let that other person down, and then you're just going to continuously go through that same cycle of repetitive unhappiness or repetitive seeking, because you don't actually know what you're trying to accomplish, or usually there's a gap as far as like what you understand are your flaws or not. So it's really, I challenge you to self-reflect and try to better understand yourself and your intentions. Build that confidence in yourself to be a contributor to a relationship, and also have confidence in your ability to be able to decide or discern what really is good for you and what is not good for you. Because if you also lack that confidence to do so, you're going to end up settling for somebody that is not going to enhance your life. And in a relationship, that is the goal. We are trying to get to the end. I don't know about you, but I don't think I've ever met a person that was like, yeah, I just date because, I want to be single for the rest of my life and never get married and have a happy family. And if that is how you think, great. When you grow up, and when you mature, you're going to realize that you can't do that forever. And then eventually you're going to start to understand that those are the things that are going to be important to you. If you're like 18, 19 years old and you're listening to this, you're probably going to think like, what's the point? Especially because nowadays, like, marriage has such a bad name. I've never met anybody outside of like 3 people in my life, which says a lot, who are like, yeah, definitely get married. It's amazing. I love my wife and things are awesome. Most people are like, don't get married, don't have kids. And it's like, bro, what are you going to do when you're like 50? That's all you're ever going to want. You're going to want somebody to share your life with. And the only way to make sure that you get there is to start preparing ahead of time. So I don't know how many people this is going to reach, but I hope that this could help at least one person, and you can kind of self-reflect and hopefully understand your needs better and your ability to provide better, so that you can become a more complete individual and navigate through these tough dating times and dating culture in 2025. So that is my single serve car cast for the day, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Peace.